All right, Scott, we're about a minute and a half out. I'm going to go ahead and stop share on my side. If you want to
Okay,
go ahead and share your screen, we'll just make sure everything's all set before we get going.
great. Thank you.
Mhm. All right,
All good.
screen share looks great.
Okay.
Uh, so coming up in about 30 seconds, I'll kick us off with a quick intro and you'll be all set to go.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. And a great day to everyone logging on to Money, Metals, and Mining Virtual Expo. Thank you so much for being here. We are pleased to welcome Scott St. Clair, who joined the IBD family in the late 2010s and has been with the firm ever since. From 2015 to 2019, he was on the portfolio management team at William O'Neill and Company. With the merger of IBD and Dow Jones, he was promoted to his current role as senior manager of the premium product group at IBD. He frequently hosts educational webinars for IBD and is a frequent guest on podcasts and IBD Live. Scott, thank you for taking your time out today. It's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate the intro. Thank you for everyone who's joined. Hopefully you can see my screen okay and hear me okay. So what we'd like to do is introduce you if you haven't heard of Investors Business Daily, give you a really quick run through of some of our products and services, and hopefully answer any questions you might have. So Mark gave a really good introduction. I didn't expect that, so I appreciate that. So that's enough about me. IBD, our mission is to help our clients, our members, make more money in the stock market. That also could mean keeping the money that you make in the stock market, because a dollar not lost is a dollar earned as well. Quick disclaimer: if I happen to mention any stocks or anything by accident, or stumble upon something, not investment advice. I am not licensed professional. And here is our agenda. So we'll go through a quick story of who IBD is, the four pillars of our strategy, our methodology, an overview of our products, three-step routine, support, and how you can get started. And then I don't know if I'll have time for Q&A, but if so, I'll be glad to answer any questions if possible. So who Investors Business Daily is founded by William O'Neill in 1984. William O'Neill. If you hadn't heard of him and you're interested in the stock market, highly recommend you learn about him. He wrote a book called How to Make Money in Stocks. At the time, I don't know if it's still a record, but at the time, and when he purchased a seat on the New York Stock Exchange, he was the youngest person to do so, and he did that with profits earned in the stock market. So he's one of the great stock market practitioners. One of the great things about IBD that I loved is we practice what we preach. We eat our own cooking. Most, if not all of us that work here are have skin in the game. And I'm all in on using these products to manage my retirement accounts, my margin accounts, my kids' Coverdale accounts, and so on and so on. So I used to be, in fact, before I joined IBD, William O'Neill, I was a client for a number of years. In 2021, we were acquired by Dow Jones, so we are under the Dow Jones umbrella as we sit here today. So what we do is we use a proven, back-tested, fact-based system for rules for when to buy stocks, when to sell them. Anyone can use to help you achieve financial freedom. I'm a big proponent, and this is one of the things Bill would talk about, written in his book. Besides the salary or money you make on a job, really, there are two other ways that you can really enhance your financial life, and that's with real estate and through the stock market. And Bill was a big proponent of everyone having some type of process of getting involved in that as soon as you could. Our strategy is fact-based. So we won't, like on January 1 of next year, we won't tell you, well, we think the stock market's going to be up 12% this year, and these are all the reasons why. We don't have any idea what the stock market's going to do from January 1, 2026 to December 31st, 2026. And I'll be honest with you, in my humble opinion, nobody has any idea what it's going to do. Not the Fed, not the president, not XYZ hedge fund. What we do is we just observe what the market is doing day by day and analyze, is it acting in a position of strength? Is it acting, for lack of a better term, correctly? Or is it acting poorly? And we should heed those warning signs. And we just ebb and flow with the market as it goes along, day by day, week by week, month by month. And our products, our stock screens, our stock lists, the tools that we use are using this type of process to find ideas, to push those ideas to you. So if I come across XYZ stock, there's kind of a three tiers that I would want to analyze that stock. The fundamentals, fairly simple. What are the earnings? What are the sales? What's the return on equity? What are the margins like? And we have all that information in our database, but we also have some easy to use rankings or ratings, I should say, that helped you to easily identify quality stocks from a fundamental standpoint. We'll get into that, but probably the one we're most known for is the EPS rating. So it's measuring the quarterly earnings as well as the annual earnings of every stock in our database and giving you a ranking from 1 to 99, with 99 being best. Now, that doesn't mean that you should run out and buy all the 99s. What that means is if you come across a 99 or a 98 or a 97, this is a quality company from an earnings standpoint compared to all other stocks in our database. So then what I'll do is if I stumble upon something of that nature, then the next step is the technical analysis part. So we use patterns to identify where we should enter a stock, as well as where we should exit it. Exit it to protect ourselves in case that trade doesn't work, but also where we might want to take profits as well. And some of those patterns you might have heard of, like cups with handles and double bottoms and flat bases. And then we also overlay that with a market component. So it's very difficult for a salmon to swim upstream. It's very difficult for the stock that you might like to go up in a bad market. If the market's just relatively okay or not all that great, sure, your stock could go up. But if you study history in really bad bear markets, roughly 3/4 to 4/5 of the stocks will go down because they just can't stand the weight of that market. In fact, the leading stocks, the best types of stocks, they'll go down a lot more than the market. So that's why it's all the more important to understand that component. Now they go up more when the market's good, the Nvidias of the world, the Apples, the Googles, the Robinhoods. So it's you take what it's a quid pro quo. So when the market's good, they go up more, but you have to understand, but they're also higher beta names, so they're going to go down more when the market's really poor. So understanding where you are in the market is an important part of our strategy as well. So there's 4 pillars. I talked about the fundamentals. We'll use technicals to time our buys and our sells. We'll trade in phase with the general market, right? The 3 things I just talked about. And then last but not least, we like the pillar of risk management. So you'd never want to get knocked out of the box. The market, if you look at a long-term stock market chart, the S&P's gone from 20 to 6,000 or wherever it started at in the hundreds to 6,000. But along the way, there's been some really bad market periods where if you didn't manage your risk, if you got over your skis a little bit, you could get knocked out of the game and then you wouldn't be there to participate in the next leg up. I can tell you from experience in the years that I've been doing this, like 35 years or so, I've seen, unfortunately, friends that they did well in the 1990s and then they let the 2000 bear market take it all away. And then or the next guy did well in the 2003 to 2007 period, and then the great financial crisis because he or she didn't have any risk management tools takes it all away. And so unfortunately, I've seen this happen too many times. So risk management is an important part of our philosophy as well. Our products. We'll start with the top tier product, which is Market Surge. It's really a great scanning query of our database. Allows you to pull up any stock that you want at any time, get a daily, a weekly chart, have all the fundamental data that you need that I talked about, all the ratings, etc. It's really a time saver in the market. It is our top tier product and from a pricing standpoint as well. Swing Trader is really guided shorter term portfolio management. One of my colleagues, Mike Webster, who used to be a longtime portfolio manager at William O'Neill and Company, this is his baby, for lack of a better term. He is giving you these ideas: where to buy, where to trim the stock, where to sell it to take profits, where to sell it to stop yourself out to protect yourself. IBD Live is a bit like a morning talk show for about an hour and a half every morning. It is recorded, but I'm on that show once a week. Mike Webster's on the show like 3 times a week, I believe. And we just kind of, for lack of a better term, chit chat about the markets and try to bring ideas that we're looking at. Leaderboard is similar to Swing Trader, but a little bit more longer term approach. So they're trying to find the Nvidias, the Robinhoods, the Apples, the Googles of the world, and really hold them a little bit longer. So a good example between Swing Trader and Leaderboard, let's say they both stumbled upon XYZ at the same time at $100. Swing Trader would probably be out of it, like maybe a little bit at 105, the rest of it at 113. If Leaderboard, pardon me, gave you that same idea, they would not be a seller at 105 or 113. They're looking for a little bit longer term gains of at least 20 to 25%, and maybe even more if the stock will allow them to stay in without being shaken out. IBD Digital, which I'll focus a little bit on today, is investors.com website. And then last but not least, Market DM is a daily newsletter that you'll get in your email box each morning, roughly around maybe a half hour to an hour after the market has opened. All right, so 1 second. Sorry, let me see how I am on time. And all right, going good. Here we go. IBD Digital. So we'll talk about investors.com with IBD Digital, how to use that, some of the features that are available to you there. You can check the current market. So we have the big picture, which is a daily article, a wrap up of the market that day. During the day, you'll see like a kind of an intraday what the market is doing. The market pulse, which is just a snapshot of, okay, the market was up today, the current outlook. You can see on here the current outlook, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but that's what IBD, for lack of a better word, recommends as your market exposure. Now, I don't love that word recommend, but it's the easiest way to understand what that means. It's kind of a guideline based on the market conditions. There's a team of us at IBD that make decisions each day if necessary. It doesn't change each day, but we do kind of get together via Slack and decide, should we make a change on the current outlook today, yes or no? And almost always it's no. But if there's a bad day in the market, we might decide to bring that exposure down. If there's a good day in the market, we might bring it up. Leaders that have moved up on volume, and then leaders that have moved down on volume. You can also find lots of stock lists to help you generate ideas. We'll have a highlighted stock of the day. Stocks on the move, so stocks that are moving on volume that day. There's a stock screener. Pardon me. So, for example, you really love the EPS rating in IBD. Show me all the stocks that have an EPS rating of 95 or better. You could run a screen like that, and then you'd have a list of all of those available to you. And then you can keep yourself organized with the stock list option. You come across a stock, maybe your neighbor says, hey, I think you should look at XYZ. Well, one of the easiest ways to evaluate it using IBD Digital, just go into the stock checkup. It will give you kind of a passing grade, a neutral grade, a negative grade based on our proprietary ratings. So you also can use this on the mobile. You can see this gentleman is looking on his iPad. We do have a app for the iPhone and or iPad as well as Android devices. You can use that to kind of stay on top of your stuff. It's really convenient in this day and age, to sit here glued to the screen all day if you're kind of an active market operator and really enjoy being involved in the markets. So it's a good way to kind of get away, at least a little bit. So step one, we'll check the current market direction. So you would go to the market trend tab at investors.com, click on the big picture column, and there you'll find an article written by one of the content team that basically summarizes the market that day. Maybe there was Fed speak, maybe NVIDIA announced a big AI apologize. I got a message that my internet connection is unstable, so hopefully I didn't lose you guys. Maybe NVIDIA announced, an AI thing. Whatever's going on in the market that can move markets, you'll find in that big picture. You'll find the market pulse in there as well, which is, like I said, just a snapshot. You'll also see distribution days. Now, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of what distribution days are, but basically they're poor to bad days in the market. And we use those to evaluate market strength or weakness and also change our outlook. Pretty simple. The more distribution days, I should say the less distribution days, the merrier, right? The distribution days are bad days in the market. Market's down a lot, the volume was up, etc. Step two, how do you find stocks? Well, there's stock lists like the IBD 50, Big Cap 20. I could go on and on. There's lots of pre-built stock lists that are generating every day at the close. And what they're scanning our database of 10,000 stocks. Well, we have about 10,000 stocks if we include ETFs, probably about 5,000 to 6,000 stocks specifically. But it's scanning that and generating a new report for you each day. The stock of the day, which I talked about, stocks on the move, those are the ones that are moving on volume. And when I say volume, I mean unusual volume compared to what that stock would normally trade. That's important. Because if we just use stocks that are moving on volume, well, it would be Apple and Google and Nvidia every day. It'd be the same list. There's no value add. So in this screenshot, I don't know if you can see the screenshot that well, but you can see InMed is up 10% that day, and the volume is over 200% above normal. So it's taking the 50-day average volume of each stock and seeing when the volume is unusual in combination with the stock being up. The screen of the day would be randomly generating different types of screens, maybe one on ROE, maybe one on IPOs, and giving you new ideas potentially that way. I did talk about the stock screener, and the stock list, of course, is how you can manage some of these ideas that you get. Okay, so step 3, you have a stock and you want to evaluate it. You can go to the stock checkup, and here's a great little indicator of, I don't know which stock this is, XYZ, and you can see the composite rating is 99. And the green arrow, I almost said arrow, the green dot implies go. It's positive, right? 99 would be the highest. Does that mean you run out and buy it? No. Remember, we talked about the technicals. This is just helping you to know, like, the fundamentals tell me what to buy, the technicals tell me when to buy them. So the market direction is if we're in a confirmed uptrend. The group relative strength is very important because stocks tend to move in groups. Solar stocks, oil stocks, gold stocks. These are extreme examples, but almost always there's some kind of fundamental thing going on in the market in the backdrop of where these companies do business that's causing the companies either to do well or to do poorly. Maybe there could be some legislation that just got passed that would really hinder electric vehicles or solar. Maybe there's no longer a tax credit or something of that nature. And so it's important to understand where you are in the industry group rankings, what day the company is going to report earnings, the EPS rating, et cetera, et cetera. So you see you got the green dots, and the red would be for where it misses. Now, food for thought, you're not looking for a perfect stock. Whatever stock this is a really quality company here. Oh, it misses on the EPS acceleration. Fair enough. You're not gonna hit 27 green lights on your way to work every day, right? You're gonna hit some red lights, but if you got mostly green, you'd call it a good drive-in. Apologies. Okay. So we also offer a lot of content to help keep you educated, connected to us. IBD University, where you can learn. We do a lot of live events, something like this, but we also do plenty on our own. Most of them are recorded, not all. We do some Saturday events that are not recorded. We don't travel like we used to, but these are ways for us to stay connected because we used to go on the road and do a lot of these events all the time. That's how I learned about IBD. I went to an event on a Saturday and listened to Bill speak about the process and the paper, et cetera. And then webinars. So we have lots of webinars on our webpage. I would guess there's at least 100 of them. And we do offer some paid webinars, but most of the stuff that we have on our website is available to you. Market DM. Market DM is a really good way to keep connected for, I think it's $20 a year or maybe $8 a month or something. I apologize, I should know this, but I'm fairly certain on the $20 a year. It's basically nothing, and it gives you a daily recap of the market right in your email inbox. We're all overwhelmed with email for sure, but it's nice to have that, and I can read fairly quickly. Kind of, what if there was something that the Fed said or something that Nvidia said or something that Apple missed earnings. And then you'll also get a stock of the day, which is kind of nice because we're trying to highlight different names that you might not stumble upon. Because there's lots of companies out there that are innovating, doing great things, and they might not be on your radar if they're not in your backyard, you're not in that business. So the stock of the day is a good way to stay on top of potential new names. Okay. I think I'm good. I've gone 22 minutes here, I think, and so I definitely have time for Q&A. If you have any questions, I would love to. Let me see if I can get into the Q&A here. I don't know if I can. Um,
Yeah, you might not be able to see them. They're in the virtual platform.
oh,
So
okay.
I have their chat here. We had a viewer here. They're wondering, they say they're very happy with their IBD subscription currently, and they're wondering what premium product would use option strategies.
Good question. So I would say if you're interested in options, there's three things you could do. You could use market search to find the ideas. Now, it's not going to give you an option trade, but once you have the idea, oh, I like XYZ, then I would say use your broker to design the option trade you want. Now, if you're really new at that, you don't, it's like, okay, that's fine, Scott, but I don't know what option trade I want. We don't have a product that's going to say, here's a strangle, do this strangle, or do this butterfly, or do this iron condor on XYZ. Our products are specifically for stocks and or ETFs. We do a lot of ETFs. And then I would say if you're interested in options, you'd probably want to learn how to, whether it's just keep it simple, like, okay, XYZ buy a call option, or XYZ buy a put option if you happen to thought it was going lower. But we don't have a product specific that's generating option ideas at this time.
All right, thank you so much. That kind of segues into this next question here. They say in regards to swing trading, stock screening, and short selling, which publications specifically cater to these advanced trading strategies, if there are any?
The swing trader will give short ideas, but they haven't given any in a long, long time, and that's because we've been in pretty much a bull market for a long, long time. So if the market changed, they would generate short sale ideas. Leaderboard in the past has given short sale ideas as well, but again, it's few and far between in the last couple of years because of the market environment. If you're interested in short selling, I would say you'd want to market surge would be the right product for you, because you could build custom screens. If you kind of like, let's just say, uh, I want all the stocks that missed earnings last quarter by 20%, and they're 20% off their high, and they're trading below their 50-day moving average. Boom, you could generate a screen that did that. So if you're interested in short selling and being more active, a trader generating ideas, market surge would be the right product for you.
All right, thank you very much. Another question here. They say, what recent market trends have you found most surprising, and how has IBD's analysis helped clients navigate it?
Interesting. That's an interesting question. I guess I'm always surprised, but then I'm not surprised, because I've been in this game for 35 years, and every time I think, wow, I can't believe that, Oklo, the nuclear energy stock, is up 500% this year. And then I say, there were 100 stocks that went up 500% between 1999 and 2000. So one thing about our products and services is we because we just tend to allow the market to pull us in or push us out, that if you're flexible and open-minded, which can be tough, I get it, but you have to be in this game. You got to be willing to bend like a tree in the breeze, let the market pull you in, and let the market push you out. You won't you'll kind of stumble upon some of these ideas by just doing the homework. So nuclear stocks have been really strong for a long time. They would have kind of, now you might say, I don't want to buy nuclear stocks. That's fine. That's fair. But you would not have been unaware of these ideas in the last 3, 6, 9 months, because all of our tools would have just been constantly bombarding you with these tickers, because they have relative strength, they have Some of them have quarterly earnings. The group strength is so superior. They'd constantly be showing up on your group relative strength screens. And so the market would have pulled you into some of these ideas, barring, we all kind of have our biases. You might say, I just won't buy those. Fair enough. But you would not have been unaware of them. That's for sure.
All right, thank you very much. Another viewer writes in, which service of yours is best for long-term investments? Market Surge?
I think excuse me, it'd be Market Surge and or Leaderboard. So I apologize. I've been a little bit under the weather, so I'm fighting this cough. I don't want to cough on everybody. Leaderboard is trying to find like NVIDIA was a good example of something that they held fairly well for a long time on the way up. But Market Surge is more of a research platform rather than a trading platform. So it's going to give you the ideas. This person, me and she and I, or he and I might stumble upon the same stock, but how we handle that would be totally different. That'd be more of a personality trading style. So my instinct is Market Surge is the best product for that. If you have a little bit of experience, if you're brand new to this, then maybe I think Leaderboard would probably be a better fit.
All right, thank you very much. Another viewer here, they're saying with the uptick that you see in AI and machine learning playing in the future of stock market analysis for retail investors, has IBD gotten into that area,
Uh, we don't
incorporating
have,
AI?
yeah, we don't have any products that are using AI to generate ideas, to analyze stocks, etc. I would say that Dow Jones as a company has definitely explored on the back end a lot of these things. So as we sit here today, we don't have that, but could we have that, 9 months, 18 months, 24 months from now? Highly possible.
All right, thank you so much. Let's see if we have any more questions that have come in. It looks like that was the last question that rolled in. Scott, if you
Awesome.
have, we do have about a minute remaining, so if you have any closing remarks.
Oh, good. Thank you. I appreciate everybody showing. If you have any questions or want to take advantage of IBD Digital, for example, if you join the virtual booth, you can get IBD Digital. It's $15 for 6 weeks. Normally, it's $40 a month. So you can try it out, test drive it for $15, or Market DM, which I talked about, is $5 a month or $60 a year. But I did mention that $20 price point. I guess that is a promotional price point, but it is available to you. If you head to our virtual booth, you can find both of these offers.
All right, Scott. Yes, I'd like to emphasize that as well. You are in the virtual booth right now, so just be sure to scroll down and download any of those materials you see, gather any of that information, put that in your briefcase. You'll also receive an email after the event is over, linking to everything you downloaded. So, Scott, thank you so much for taking the time out today. Fantastic presentation.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Have a great week, everyone.
And a big thank you to all of those logging on. You are watching Money Shows, Money Metals, and Mining Virtual Expo. Stick around. We have more great content coming your way over the next day. Thank you for being here. We'll be back momentarily.